I wonder what's on TV. Hell no.
Welcome. Got something out there with you. What I want from you. And when you speak, I want every word to be straight from the lips of God.
Violence and natural death. Human accomplishments. These are part of every news story.
I'm Lila, and this is Samantha D. And today we have a very special guest, the Imperial Orgy drummer and multimedia artist, Mina Dada.
Hi.
On tonight's show, we will have a very special artist profile, an outsider music video, a visit from Miss Izzy, and later on in the show, we will explore the secret spirituality behind the Imperial Orgy. And while Mina engages Samantha and I in a very deep intellectual conversation on Leninist dialectics, y'all can take a look at this.
Hi, we're here with artist Ruth Parson. Ruth, tell us a little bit about your background.
My background, myself. My art self, I started off as a writer when I was about 8 and diligently wrote and had teachers say, oh really, you should think about something else, and I didn't care, I kept on writing. Then I took a sculpture class in high school and then I was a sculptor.
That was it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm interested in talking to you about your sculpture, but I'd like to talk about paintings first. Can we talk a little bit about your influences as far as painting is concerned?
My influence as far as painting? Sure. I was a sculptor all up until 1990 when I met Steve. And he said, well, I'm doing this painting project. I'm sorry, I don't paint. He said, well, wait a minute. A pencil in each hand, just walk up to some paper, trace yourself, fill it in. You could do that. I thought, well, yeah, I could do that. So that was when I started painting. And doing paintings pretty much been my influence on painting.
Could you tell us a little bit about the process when you're working on a painting?
Well, pretty much I have two different approaches. In one way I paint like a sculptor. It's kind of based on like an image on a canvas. And those I pretty much just start to draw or just start to paint. Try to get a moment in time is what I'm mostly interested in any kind of art, catching like a moment that expresses something that people go through. So painting like a sculptor is one thing. And then also working from a study, grids. Steve and I started doing that with collaborative work, and pretty much that formed for the Ghost Dance project. And in that way, the part that I'm interested in is the paint, you know, the colors of the paint, the laying on of the paint, just working in little grids, each one being like its own little canvas.
Right. Also on your website you have a painting called Uncle Manuel's Friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that painting. And I'm interested in the role that the grid played in that. And no, I'll let you take it from there.
Well, that was about the time my mom was dying. I was like pretty interested in family photographs, and so pulling photographs, and not really interested in the photograph itself, but the people. Then I was real interested in cemeteries, which I've always been interested in. So that was a chance to do some collage, and the grid aspect of it just comes from doing grids and just painting in the space, and really falling in love with the lines in between. So that one was a lot about the shape of the grid.
Right. How does sculpture differ for you from painting? Is there a different process? How do you translate the two?
Sculpture for me is not at all intellectual. I sculpt first always in clay, and it's completely tactile. It's about what my hands know about the world, and it's just real direct. And it's always a surprise. I never really know what's going to happen. Just start with clay. Painting, for the most part, I have an idea first, and the major change for me was in sculpture. I pretty much would smoke stuff, but I would never use color. And when I got to painting, it was all about color. Blew me away. The whole concept of, like, in and out and light and dark and trying to get off the primary colors. I couldn't get it, just couldn't get it in my head. It was a real goal of mine to start to get some sense of color, that there might be nuance. And I really worked hard at it, and I think I'm getting it. But yeah, that was.
Well, de Kooning liked to sculpt also, and he would have someone buy him a big pair of old gloves, and he'd put them on, and he'd sculpt with the gloves on, in a kind of a way of sneaking up on himself or breaking his bad habits. So what do you do to get out of your own bad habits?
Well, with clay, punching it, really. If I see that I'm going, not that little tight ass thing again. Start to use my body more on it, hands, arms.
Right.
So that pulls me away from that. Painting, I'm still I've only been painting for 10 years. It's like bad habits galore. I don't even know when I'm in the middle of a bad habit, pretty much. So not a trick.
All right, you're also involved in a lot of performance art, and let's talk a little bit about that. And specifically, how'd you get involved with that? And if you could talk a little bit about your Black Widow piece.
Okay, how I got involved in that, I was a sculpture technician in a college, around a lot of sculptors. One friend said, "Hey, I had a dream with you in it." And he tended to sculpt in light. And he said, "Okay, it was you and me where we're using only the word me. The light in the room looked like this. Want to do it?" I said, "Sure, that seems easy. I could remember that line." So that's how I started doing performance art. That was about 1974. And I did a couple more pieces with him, and hadn't thought about going on my own. And then one day I was riding my bicycle to school. And it was about a 5-mile ride, and I was near to the school. It was like a field there. I'm riding my bike, and I look over to the field, and there are these wolves in this circle, and they're all howling, and there's this dead wolf in the middle, and they're eating his insides and howling and taking turns, and I'm kind of blown away. And then I'm riding my bike again. And I go to school going, no, I hope this isn't going to be a problem here. And I kind of forgot about it after a while. And shortly after that, my father died. And then I found out that his grandmother's name was Lopez, and Lopez means wolf, and all this stuff was starting to form a circle around itself. And then Steve at the time was running a gallery and asked me if I wanted to do a piece there. I'm like, I think this is a piece I'll do. So that's when I started working on my own. And I did it for about 10 years and stopped at the point where people started to know my work and invited me to come and do pieces for them, from their ideas. And I found when I stopped working off a vision that I'd have, that it didn't work for me anymore.
Thanks a lot for being with us here today. Now let's take a look at some of Ruth's work.
Mona Lisa, man, his name is.
Welcome back. As you can see, Mina's always so exhausted after a very deep political conversation.
Better red than dead.
Spirituality is an important part of the imperial orgy. Although he rarely speaks openly about such things in his day-to-day life, a subtle undercurrent of spirituality lies below the surface in Caesar's songwriting. At the age of 20, Caesar was besieged by a dramatic religious vision that changed his life forever.
It only lasted a fraction of a second. It was just this abstract image, but it changed everything. It destroyed all that I knew of reality and created something new. It's a little bit frustrating because there's no way for me to explain it. There are no words to express it, and there's no way for me to prove that anything ever happened. But it was the most important moment of my life. Afterwards, I lived in a completely different world.
Pink refers to his beliefs as pagan pan-spirituality, which he describes as a mix of elements from Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, European paganism, and various tribal beliefs.
When you look below the surface of Eastern religions, and even to the roots of Western religions, you find that there is an area that's common to all. It's here where I find truth.
In an era when there seems to be a search for spirituality in America, with the proliferation of New Age religions, self-help books, and fanatical cult activities, Caesar sees the roots of many of our society's troubles.
There's a spiritual void in our country, and the monotheistic religions no longer seem able to fill that void. Many of the lost souls of our society tend to end up in the rock music and club scene, so we have a lot of contact with the nihilism that has pervaded the Western world.
Caesar believes that the root of our society's problems lie far back in the history of Western culture, when Plato first laid out his belief in the split between the material and the spirit world, and parallel to that, the body and the soul. Inherent in that belief was the idea that the body, nature, and the material world were evil and should be suppressed by the higher soul. This belief was later picked up by the followers of Christianity and soon became the basis of Western thinking.
There is a chasm within ourselves. Instinctually, we know that nature, the body, and sexuality are good. But for thousands of years, we have been taught that these things are evil. This inner tension has created souls and a society that is out of balance.
Pink's theories on spiritual and sexual union are vital to his belief system and lend a provocative edge to the imperial orgy's music and performances.
Paganism provides a positive outlook that celebrates life and embraces nature. In the pagan outlook, spirit and body are united, and God and the universe are one and the same. The world of the pagan is a living world. It promises to give us back our bodies and restore the broken circle of our fractured souls. The balance of positive and negative is restored because nature and body are no longer condemned as evil. And with the balance comes a psychic parallel, the war within ourselves, from which both our society and many of its individuals suffer, can give way to balance and peace.
Paganism worships nature through the image of the goddess. In these lyrics from Sex Salvation, Caesar incites the goddess within the women in the audience to emerge and worship through sensuality.
Love is sacred, don't let it bounce. Take my desire, bring from your past. You're the goddess, I'm the beast. Join me in life's wonderful feast.
If you believe that all is God, then to worship the lover is to worship God, and sacred sex becomes the highest form of meditation.
Since the dawn of time, the union between sexuality and spirituality has been celebrated by humankind, and the balance of nature's polarity has been symbolized by sexual intercourse. Through tantric sex and sensuality, the imperial orgy uses sexual energy to induce a spiritual state in the audience.
There is a common experience which the meditating monk, the whirling dervish, the tribal dancer, and the fervently praying saint all seek. Psychiatrist Carl Jung referred to it as numinosity, a feeling of losing oneself, of losing touch with time and space, and becoming one with the moment, the community, or the universe at large. Something many have called coming close to or seeing God. With the imperial orgy, we attempt to use sexuality, musical rhythmic repetitions, and an ecstatic environment to deliver such an experience to our audiences.
Hi everyone. We're here with contemporary painter Makoto Takanoga.
Hi.
While we discuss the latest trends in art with Makoto, you guys can watch a music video.
Well, I come up from a white trash small town, but that don't mean that I ain't been around. I've seen things that you never believe. What I've done most but only dream. I'm your back which sushi the Dulles Street Peak. In case you haven't heard, I got a lot of words. The laughs of the box and the jobs don't mouth. Wobble raps and ooh, can you say my name? Can you say my name? Like a one-piece quilt, I slip into the mainstream. Gonna take my place in the power space. But don't turn your back when you think I'm safe. I'm gonna lay some hard stocks in your face. Off your own power, some people out of top stuff. Better understand that I got a plan. The prophet, the poet, the pop punk priest. Take up for the crew. Ooh, can you say my name? Can you say my name? If you don't conform, you pay a mighty high price. If you stand tall, they want to knock you down. They drive you something more that they feel. The deal fills them with an urge to kill. I'm clenching tears thinking about my goal. You can bet that I've got everything I got. The make of the shape of the hard line, take a dead down to the ground with a style, and that's my game. Can you say my name? Can you say my name? Now I'm here, some things are gonna change. Now I'm here, time to rearrange. I'm the tired of your mainstream mediocrity. These people don't even want to free. Monkey see, monkey do, all get on you. Paper number two, red like a fool. Keeping it stupid through and through. Even ten degrees is all you ever see. I went out the bottom, I'll be at the top. Now I'm here, never gonna stop. Some of these get fools running with no time. Safety and numbers won't help when I.
Welcome back. As you can see, Makoto puts everything into his art.
While he recuperates, let's have a visit from gossip queen, Miss Izzy.
Poontang. P-O-O-N-T-O-N-G-U-E.
That's just not funny.
No! No!
People are saying... And here's some more with behind the scenes. Oh my God! People are saying...
Who the hell's booking these venues? That's the question a perturbed Pink pouted out after the orgy kids found themselves on the stage of a heavy metal club in a backwoods town called Altoona, Pennsylvania. People are saying the frightened metalheads hid in the dark corners to avoid contact with the divine orgy madness, and except for a few pleas of, "Play Ozzy, man," the crowd stayed silent. Finally, at night's end, in frustration towards the dead crowd, Pink picked Mina Dada's drum kit up into the air and piece by piece smashed it into the ground. But it seems this act of mindless violence hit the spot with the mad metalheads because the crowd went wild. After the show, when a confused audience member was asked what he thought of the orgy, he responded, "Caeser Pink? What kind of name is that? I don't know whether he's a commie or some kind of homosexual prevert."
Okay, buddy, that's where I draw the line. And now it's time for a record review.
Third Eye Blind's self-titled debut blends dynamic vocals and alluring melodies into one of the best albums I've heard all year. It's a solid front-to-back album that combines the hard chord progressions of a punk band with the acoustic feel of an early alternative band.
Boring.
The classic song, Semi-Charmed Life, is a catchy vocal masterpiece. Third Eye Blind ranges from lighter ballad elements, like in How's It Going to Be, to guitar-driven rock tunes like in Graduate and Narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is one of the best tracks on the...
All I hear is a sound of money changing hands.
It starts out with a soothing, innocent beginning, and then morphs into a rock epic led by excellent guitar work and captivating vocals by Stefan Jenkins. Some of the very nice soft songs come at the end with the big three. The background...
You yuppies will eat up any product they spoon feed you.
Okay, listen. You orgy people think you're so cutting edge and avant-garde. Well, I'll have you know that I can be on the edge too. And to all you people that have been writing letters saying, "We like the off-screen comments better than the reviews. Why is she so straight-laced? Why is she so tight-assed?" I have this to say to you. I guarantee you that I'm not just this very professional broadcaster. You see here. I'm a woman, too. You want me to be loose? Well, take on these, baby! Okay. In closing, Third Eye Blind may be a young, new band, but their album is one of the most creative works in recent history. My prediction is that this band will have a long, bright future. I give it a 9 out of 10.
World troubled by the shortcomings of the people who inhabit it. The young are the least likely to cope. The desire to escape no matter the consequence, leads to a society without moral restraint, dissolute, depraved, with widespread despair.
We'll be right back after this fun commercial break.
It's the gift that brings a smile to every little girl.
It's the Caeser Paint action figure. And when we say action, we mean action! Order yours now, just $69.69. Call 1-800-URN-CHUM.
That's it for this week, folks. Good night.
Good night. But wait, we can pick up the magic orgy mirror and see which friends are visiting us in Orgyland tonight. I see Billy and Tommy and Carrie and Caleb and... Joe, what are you doing? Don't smoke that, that's illegal. And then, oh, hello Lizzie. Oh, I'm so glad you're visiting. Oh, and Tommy, what are you doing to Susie now? Can you wait till after the show? Oh, I'm so glad all of our friends are visiting us. And do you want to see Lila? There's everybody else. And the whole world is watching.